Now this is the kind of beauty of this control box, and we are going to talk about that one in this task. And first of all, when you open, let's say we open this workbook and we want to bring up the text box controls and everything, then go to Visual Basic and click it, and it opens all these stuff, right? But sometimes you cannot find your control user forms, right? So let's like this, right? Maybe it's not appears. Then to open that, go to this project. Then it shows all pre-existing modules and everything here, right? Okay, user forms like that, right? So we have that one, right? So when you double click it, it opens that order forms, right? New order form that we have worked so far, and this one, right? Okay, so through the previous several tasks, we realized that we have to type everything, right? Whenever we want to put inside any cell in here, right? So it's kind of bothering us, right? How about let it done automatically? So we can choose from a list for that order form or the number, and just click OK. Then it appears in there like that, right? So that's how the list box is working. And one of the choice is here, right? So let's click it and make a box like that. And we want to put the whole list of some materials or students' names or anything like that, right? So for that purpose, let's just change the name of this one, the name of that list box. Right now it says just list box, so instead of that, how about item box? There is a reason for that, because inside our workbook there are certain range whose name is item, or items actually. So we are going to use that one, and that is actually in here. So it's a collection of all the possible items maybe this company handling. So in your case, maybe it's a list of your students' names or whatever, students' numbers like that, right? So let's assume that we want to put these data inside the list box, so we could choose it inside that forms. Then of course, not only that, maybe we need some other information from there too, right? So just try to make her range for that, right? So in this case, it's already pre-existing. If you select this much, it shows the name of this range is items, right? So you can make it by yourself, or if it's pre-existing range, then how can you find it? We already covered that one. Click it and click name, then it shows what range is assigned to that name. There are another names, right? Another range. So codes is that one, right? So inside this worksheet we have two ranges, right? And we are going to dealing with these items first. Okay, so no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. And in here we want to assign that the first column of the range items, right? So how can you do that? Now first we change the name of that list box. Then inside these properties, one of them is row source. Okay. And it doesn't assign anything yet, so in there we can put items. That's the name of the range, right? Okay. Okay. So then it'll, if the range is a kind of table style, so it might have many columns, but by this way it's going to show only the first column of the range, okay, which is assigned. Now let me hit enter first. Okay, then it shows all this data from, let me, there, right? A4 ring, binder, DDS, DOT, right? Exactly like that. Of course, you cannot use this slider here, right? So just wait until we really activate. So it's only bring up that first columns here, right? And please look at the lecture note. It says we can add some more columns in there by only changing the values of column count property. So in here it says column count 1. So if you change that one to 2, then can you see that you can see the other columns too, like that, right? So, but our assumption is that first one is what we really need, right? Student's name or whatever, right? So we have to do it this way. Okay, so let me change back to 1 here. Okay. Now, what we really want is not only this much, right? We want to have all the possible data in the list, and we don't want to type it by ourselves in this text box to make order number or whatever. When it's selected inside this list, it should automatically appears over there, right? So that's what you want to do. So in that case, we have to change our code for the OK button, because when you do OK button, it's just to do certain things, right? So let's double click on there. Then this is the code, right? When you click OK button, it's just asking something, and then we just do, right? Then at the end, we want to put from our lecture note this one line code. So can you see that? Simply we just checking what cells in order set in this column A is empty, right? According to this code, and put our order number into the empty cell in that first column, right? But this new line do is in the second column, we put the item names in there, right? Okay. So as you can see here, the first order number comes with a certain item, right? So in this, by this code, not only we are going to put not only the order number, but automatically what items we want to order under the name, under the number. Okay. So just by simple one code is enough like that. Okay. Okay. So let's close it and try to run that one. And do you remember what we need to do? We already assigned Control M as a shortcut to bring up these forms, right? Okay, so now we already used this number for our first order. So our assumption is, okay, what is second order? Okay. The next order, and you have all the choices, right? Okay, and that is selected because I clicked that line accidentally when I explained previously, right? So if you don't select it, it's not going to appear like this, right? But still you can change it, right? So anything like that. HP laser cartridge for that. Okay, and look at here what happens here. Click OK, then both of them appears like that. Okay, and you can keep doing it, right? The next order is stapler or whatever. Click OK. Okay, please play.